This meeting is being live streamed.
Perfect.
Setting up your meeting for YouTube Live. Redirecting to YouTube.
Yeah, it's coming up on my phone, the testing.
Phew,
We're live. Yay.
I can't see us yet, but this meeting is being live streamed. Perfect. Setting up your meeting for YouTube Live. Redirecting to YouTube.
Yeah, it's coming up on my phone, the testing. Live. Yay.
I can't see us yet, but where?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Bear with me, everyone. Emily, can you hear me?
Yes. It was echoing, but I think it stopped.
Where?
No, it's still echoing.
It seems like there's a delay.
Do you have YouTube open on your desktop? You might have to close it.
I might have to close
Emily,
it.
can you hear me?
Yes. It was echoing, but I think it stopped. No, still echoing.
Seems like there's a. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Where are you? I can't see you.
Go back to Zoom.
Oh,
There we are.
oh my gosh. That was a hot mess for anyone who might be watching. This is the first time that I've ever gone live on YouTube via Zoom. So this whole thing has been a learning experience, a very interesting learning experience. So for those who are joining us live, please feel free to comment and let us know that you're here. And my apologies in advance if I don't respond to your comments right away, as this is a bit of a learning curve for me today. But now we're ready to kick things off. And for those of you who are new to my world, my name is Jennifer Spohr, and I am a spiritual teacher, an ascension guide. I am also an Akashic Records master trauma-informed consultant and instructor. And I love supporting other conscious leaders to align with their deepest truths and highest purpose and path here. So all that being said, it is nice to be here with you. And I am here. I'm really excited to be here with Emily the Mystic today. And Emily, one moment, please. I'm going to give you all kinds of juicy information on Emily, which I meant to pull up ahead of time as well. So live streams, real life. Here we go. So Emily the Mystic, aka Emily Logan Lewis, is an intuitive mentor, spiritual teacher, and Akashic Records master consultant. She's on a mission to soften shadow work and help old souls heal, as well as reclaim their intuitive gifts, manifest their dreams, and experience the most joyful life while doing it. Emily is an expert in mediumship, past life regressions, meditation, the Akashic Records, tarot, hypnotherapy techniques, quantum healing, and other spiritual practices. She is living proof that you can change your life in a split second, and is known for making the most aligned, purposeful, freedom-filled life possible. Hello, Emily.
Hello. Thank you for having me. So happy to be here.
Me too. I feel like I've gotten off to a bit of a rocky start, but hey, we're good to go, and here we are now, real life, right?
Yeah, and we're still in Mercury retrograde's shadow, so like it's just
Oh, right, that's true. Yes,
Yeah.
we just come right out of it, right?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I'm loving this already so much. So, Emily is also a friend of mine. Emily and I actually connected, gosh, what has it been, like a couple of years now?
Yeah, it's been 2 years. We met in 2021. Mm-hmm.
We both met each other, connected through an Akashic Records mastery program that we were in, and we've just stayed connected ever since. I love Emily's energy, and she is one of the most like high vibe, fun people I know. And I thought she was the perfect person to introduce to everyone and to have for this conversation today, which, by the way, for those of you who may not have seen the posts ahead of this live today, we are going to spend some time talking about emotional mastery in relation to manifesting and just overall injecting more fun and joy into the journey, because you know this ascension stuff can feel serious sometimes, right?
Oh, planet Earth, a fun playground to live on.
Right?
Yes.
It's not for the faint of heart. So welcome, Emily. I'm super excited to have you here and to have this conversation today.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. And yeah, I mean, there's so much that we're going to chat about. Oh, I love helping my clients navigate their sensitivity and navigate the complexity of their own emotions, because once we can really get a handle on our emotions and how they impact our life and our vibe and our environment and the lifestyle that we live, we can really create so much space for ourselves to live life from a place of joy.
So true.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so true. I'd love to kick things off around emotional mastery in relation to manifesting. One of the reasons why I got the download, I think, for us to discuss this topic is because, you know, manifesting is a great example because of there's just a lot of heavy societal programming, transgenerational programming, right, around looking outside ourselves externally for solutions, around focusing on making decisions from the mind versus the heart versus the emotional body, right? Mm-hmm. And even with manifesting, there's a lot of talk about that these days in the personal development world. But despite all of that, a lot of people still teach and a lot of people still take action to manifest with their mind versus their body, right? And like Abraham Hicks is one that does talk about feeling as if a lot, but we're really cute as humans, and what we like to do is still, you know, feel as if from our mind.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts, or what do you do for your own personal practices, or like what do you advise clients around in terms of really getting into their body to shift those emotions to truly be grounded in that vibration of where they want to be?
Totally. So I myself am such a high achiever, and all of my clients are. They are action-oriented, ambitious people. And because of that, because my clients, we're all so intelligent that we often are taught to, and we are naturally inclined to make decisions from the brain and from the mental body. Because we're intelligent, we've had parents who are equal, to us in that way, and taught us to make decisions from a place of logic and common sense. And so we're coming into this lifetime with so much programming and conditioning around that it can be hard for us to make decisions and choices from the heart and from being in the body. And so for a lot of my clients, they are coming with not just this high achieving mentality, but they also are highly sensitive, highly empathic people. And so the natural inclination for me and my clients, and I was this way too, and that's why I work with people like this, is to dissociate and avoid being in the body. Because we're so sensitive, we don't want to feel everybody else's feelings and emotions. We don't want to be tied into that. We don't want to feel our own feelings and emotions because they're so intense and they can be so heavy sometimes. So automatically, it's just easier to be in the brain. It's easier to not even be in the body at all. It's easier to dissociate and live life from that place because it's not as painful. However, when we're doing that, we're completely bypassing our human experience. We're completely bypassing the soul's journey of getting to know and understand the full spectrum of human emotions. And we are avoiding really feeling some of the feelings that may be coming up that are just a natural part of being human. So anyway, that's a little bit of background to how I approach this. So for myself and my clients, I really help them navigate their sensitivity first and foremost by doing small daily practices and rituals that can help them start the day from being in a grounded place. So I focus a lot of my energy on helping my clients with grounding, whether that be teaching them a meditation that helps them ground into the body or encouraging them to get outside, get exercise. I actually started this business as a health coach. And so I have a background of working with the physical body, connecting with the physical body. And so I take a lot of that knowledge and I help my clients make sure that they have movement practices or an exercise routine that they feel really attached to in a good way. That's really helpful for them to be able to ground. So that's one thing that we really focus on. We also really focus on sleep, making sure that we're getting enough sleep so that we can feel good when we're in the body during the course of a given day. And we do energetic practices to, again, help us with sensitivity. So that could be energy protection, that can be energy clearing, making sure that you're not holding on to all of the feelings and emotions of the people around you. And one really simple way to do that is to check in with yourself and to ask yourself the question, are these emotions that I'm feeling, are they really mine or are they somebody else's? Or do they belong to the collective? And so I have my clients check in on that and ask who the emotions belong to. And a lot of the time, it's not what they're holding on to is not even theirs. So that's a whole bunch of different things that I do for myself and with my clients.
Yes. Yeah. So daily rituals are super important, right?
Mhm.
Consistency.
Mhm.
That's how we create the new neural pathways
Yeah.
to step into that higher frequency version of us, right? That is manifesting, that is living whatever it is that we desire. Super important. And knowing what feelings are yours and what feelings aren't yours are super important too. I love that you bring that up because so many of the people that I work with are empaths as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, literally, probably 80% of the time, maybe even more than that, whatever you're feeling actually isn't yours, it's someone else's. So
Yeah.
it's great to have that awareness to be able to check in with yourself, right? And if the feelings aren't yours, then move on. And if they are, then stepping into that observer role to, inquire with yourself, right? Why am I feeling this way? What's causing it? And then consciously making a decision to move forward.
Yeah.
Something else I find really helpful with emotional mastery is breath work.
Yeah, definitely.
I've noticed that, in my experience with myself and clients, whenever we feel stress or anxiety or any level of misalignment, our breaths are often like we could actually be holding our breath. Or
yeah, it sits up here.
Might be faster and shorter too. So just pausing to take deep, full breaths, right? To move through whatever it is that we're experiencing. Something else that I advise people around that I'd love to get your thoughts on is also anchoring in feelings based upon memories that we have, right? So if, for example, having that knowing, that grounded knowing that you just know that something is going to happen. We all want to have that unwavering belief when it comes to manifesting.
Yeah.
Thinking of a time in our lives when we had that knowing, right? So even if we don't have it about whatever the thing is we're trying to manifest, taking ourselves back to that time to reestablishing that frequency in our body.
Absolutely. I have a practice that I walk my clients through, and I forget who coined this term, but I learned this on a podcast. It's called creating a confidence anchor. And you create a confidence anchor by bringing yourself back to a moment in your life that brought you a lot of joy or pleasure, or that was just one of your favorite moments. Maybe that's childhood, maybe that's your young adult years, or even recently, and really bringing yourself back into that place, feeling all of the feelings and emotions and excitement and joy that were coming up at that time, and then using that as a reference point when you're about to do something that scares you. So for my clients, I have a lot of clients who fear visibility and public speaking and getting on live videos and doing things like this, podcast interviews. So they've got a lot of fear about those things. So I help them create a confidence anchor so that they can get really excited about public speaking by anchoring themselves in to a moment in their past that created a lot of joy and pleasure and fun for them. So when they go to do the visibility opportunity, they can feel anchored in those positive feelings instead of the feelings of fear.
I love that. Before we move on to chatting a bit about injecting more joy and fun into our journey, is there anything else that you're feeling guided to bring forward around emotional mastery with manifesting?
The other big tool that has helped me a lot recently is EFT. So the emotional freedom technique and tapping, which is a way to tap into the meridians of the body and to clear energy from some of our main energy centers. And when we do tapping, we tap on these different points and we speak out words, phrases, things that we're afraid of, that we're worried about, phrases of anxiety, phrases even of anger, or more of some of those more intense emotions. And the tapping helps us to release and let go of whatever may be on the mind so that we can release those emotions from the body and we can center ourselves into a more energetically neutral place.
So if someone wants to learn more about tapping, what is a resource that you would recommend them to start with?
I don't have any videos on this yet because this is something new that I have been working on myself. But I absolutely love on YouTube. His name is Brad Yates. He's got tens of thousands of tapping videos. It's very quick. It's very easy to learn. And his videos are free. And you can find any YouTube video about any tapping for anything that you would need tapping for. It's amazing.
Yes, we love YouTube, don't we?
Yes.
In case YouTube is listening, which they might be. That's a whole other conversation. So as far as injecting more joy and fun into the journey, you know, I was kind of joking about it at the beginning of our conversation. Also serious, you know, that those that are called to any type of, you know, coaching, mentoring, healing work, you know, the personal development journey isn't for the faint of heart, right? It can feel difficult at that time, at times. And that's because when we're doing this kind of work and putting ourselves out in the world, we're meant to illuminate the way for others. And so part of that is then, you know, all of our nigglies, so to speak, come up, right, for healing. So, and it can be really easy to get caught up in the day-to-day of everything that has to be done in terms of being visible and putting ourselves out there. So how do you keep things light?
I love that. I love that question. So I am a huge proponent of being present in my day-to-day life. I know that sounds really simple, but presence for me is everything. Yes, I've got a big vision for myself, for the future, for my business, et cetera, et cetera. But when I'm operating from that future focused place, it can create a lot of fear and anxiety of like, why am I not there yet? Oh, and then I get myself all caught up in this spiral. A lot of my clients are the same way. So by cultivating a practice of presence where I'm really grounded in my day-to-day life, focusing on the small step-by-step things on my to-do list, especially as an entrepreneur, what are the things I need to do to be visible on social media? Who are the clients that I'm seeing? What are some of the daily practices that I have for myself? I find so much joy in that because I can really relax into my day ahead and really enjoy the process of what I am working on. So that's a big thing for me. But overall, cultivating joy in any given week is so important. I always have things to look forward to. I have a journaling practice where I write down, what am I most looking forward to at the end of the day? What's my reward for the day? Like maybe that's something like getting outside for a sunset walk. Maybe that's cooking a delicious meal. Maybe that's watching a Netflix show that I love. So I always have little ways that I cultivate joy during the day, and also maybe even bigger things that I'm looking forward to during the course of a week. Maybe that's going out with friends. Maybe that's checking out a new local spot here in Philadelphia where I live. But I also try to make time for some of those more fun human activities that are part of life. Sometimes we forget to enjoy that stuff, but that's really what we're here to do.
It's so true. I really love what you bring up about being present. It is simple. And likely anyone who's watching this video has heard it a million times, right?
Yeah.
Be in the now, be in the now moment, be present. Yeah. However, that's really what it is, right? Is making a conscious decision to be present to whatever it is your energy is focused around in the moment. And if you're not enjoying it, right, that's an indicator. And totally. And joy isn't some like elusive destination that we're reaching. It's choosing that as a state of being. And so recognizing that if you are being present and you aren't feeling that fun and joy in most aspects of your life, then that would be a sign from the universe to, look at,
you're not in the right career,
right? You're not
in the right relationship. Exactly. You're not living in the right place. Yes.
Like what needs to change,
Yeah.
And so many people fear change, which is all programming, right? Because we're really wired as creator beings. And so change is actually, in divine truth, something to be excited to, anticipate. It's part of who we are. We are evolution.
Absolutely. Yeah. And change is scary, but it's also a part of life. It's a part of the human process. Change is the only certain thing, honestly, because nothing is permanent in this short lifetime that we have here on this planet, in this particular body, in this particular realm, and so the only thing that we can count on is change. So I help my clients do some healing work around their relationship to change and their relationship to uncertainty. And when we can kind of get to the root of where that may be coming from, that helps them cultivate a more positive relationship with the future and with change as well.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, that's a great segue, because I was just about to say that's where, in navigating change, that's where it can be super helpful, right? To have a mentor or a coach or, some type of advisor to assist you in navigating those changes. It's the lack of implementation that a lot of people run into challenges with, in my experience, right? It's one thing to have a new awareness, but sometimes when it comes to making changes in key relationships, especially with loved ones who are close, or, if you're in my generation, which I feel like I'm dating myself, a lot of people in my kind of age range, right, have been in the same career for a long time if they aren't entrepreneurs. And so being faced with that can can feel scary as well, but also just knowing that often our greatest fears are always our greatest opportunities for growth too. But like I said, having that person outside of your bubble, so to speak, that can guide you along the way is just really, really key in staying on track, I believe.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else that you're feeling guided to bring forward as we're starting to close up?
I would say too, for a lot of my clients, given what I've told you about how they're high achievers and they're sensitive empaths and all of these different things, a lot of them are striving to create more for themselves, more money, more abundance, all of these desires and so on and so forth. And so they come to me for help with that. But really what's going on behind the covers and under the covers is there are some energetic mismatches in terms of their relationships. So we spend a lot of time diving into their relationships with their family members, their significant other, their friendships, and cultivating a space where there is energetic neutrality in some of those relationships. We dive into doing a lot of healing work in some of those major relationships, because when we do that, it helps my clients shift into a place of authenticity where they feel more comfortable and confident being their true self. And when you're in that place, that's when you attract the money and the abundance and so on and so forth. So we need to do the healing work around your relationships and where you're afraid of people seeing you for being who you really are. Because once we get to the root of that, therefore, you can step into your true purpose, your true path, be your full self, and the money and the opportunities just happen when you're in that place.
Yeah, I love that example. And to kind of sum all of that up, it's like whatever our perceived problem is, right? Whether it's abundance, money, a romantic relationship, whatever, is typically a symptom of something else, right? Uh-oh, you froze. Are you there? Okay, well, for some reason, I lost Emily for a minute, but we were starting to wrap up. And I will be sure to, for those of you listening today who feel called to, oh, you're back.
There we go.
I was just improvising from the screen being frozen. So anyways, we left off on summarizing that, right? To say that whatever it is, the thing that somebody wants, it's usually just a symptom of something else that's actually causing it. So important to have the willingness to step into exploring that. If someone is feeling guided to connect with you further, where would you like them to go?
They can find me on Instagram. I'm Emily the Mystic. You can also find me on YouTube, Emily the Mystic. I have a lot of really awesome videos about some of the topics we've talked about today. And you can find me on my website, emilythemystic.com.
Awesome. That would be great. And actually, if you could provide those links in the comments after this video goes up, that would be awesome as well. And for those of you who are feeling guided to explore my world more, I will also be sure to include a link to my website in the comments of the video as well. What a great conversation today. But I mean, I feel like we just barely scratched the surface, because we could easily go so deep on this. But I hope everyone listening today found, this information helpful, and please be sure to comment and let us know your thoughts, and if you have any questions from what we covered today as well too, because we definitely want to make sure that you received a lot of value from this conversation. So Emily, thank you so much for going live with me on YouTube through Zoom for the first time. It was a bit clunky, but we made it happen. But that's real life, right?
Yep, 100%. Finding
you.
joy in the journey.
Yes, exactly. Thank